Hello, gym family. Okay, so another mobility session. We're doing lots of push-ups, burpees, probably sitting on our computers or reading our books, working on our laptops. So we're going to be in this position, and then now we're exercising and putting ourselves more into this position. So that's those big pecs, which are considered the glutes of the upper body, right? They're strong and powerful, but if they're shortened, they can internally rotate and then put that shoulder in a bad position. So now I can't go overhead because now my shoulder is not sitting back where it has the full room to do it. So let's work on some things to help open up those chest muscles. So if you have a lacrosse ball, or again, I love this supernova ball, two options that you can use. And if you have a wall or a floor, you're good to go. So either one of these or tennis ball, whatever you can find, something that's firmer. You want to find a wall, and ideally if it's something with a corner so you can step through and add a little pressure. We're going to place this ball, if you can find that collarbone right here and that soft tissue just below it. That's that pec minor. You're going to release that. So you're going to start here kind of at the sternum just below. You're going to place a little pressure. Hand goes behind your back, and you're going to now strip without having it fall off the wall across. So I'm adding pressure and I'm moving this ball and stripping it from sternum to shoulder. So insertion to attachment. All the way across, working my way down. That pec is that big muscle. And ladies, even though we have all this soft tissue here, you can still try to strip around that muscle in here. So spend a little time getting into this portion of the shoulder, real tight through here, rolling up and down, and getting that release. You can also not only have the hand behind the back, but if you need to add a little bit of movement, so if I'm putting my arm pressure in here and I want to practice going overhead and coming up down, doing a snatch movement, all of that to try to tack down and then move that tissue, that's going to help break up any knots or tightness that you might have. So I would start with that first, both sides. Again, 2 minutes each side, really kind of working on those sticky parts. That's going to help release that tissue, and then you can concentrate on trying to mobilize in that. So if you needed more pressure, didn't have a wall, you can move to the floor, and you can do this on the floor as well. Again, just placing that ball just under your pec. You can start with the hand behind the back, and you're just using your body weight to find. Again, you can also move through all those ranges of motion and tapping down. So that's another option. I find when you do go to the floor that the bigger ball allows you to put a little bit more pressure, but you gotta use what you gotta use. So again, strip those tissues, 2 minutes each side, then come to your back, and we're gonna work on increasing that internal rotation. So you're gonna be in your bridge nice and high, hands behind your back.
Beethoven, come.
Come on. We're doing so good. Come on, buddy. Come on, come on. Stay over here. Good boy. So, sorry. Nice high bridge, hands go back. Then really work those shoulder blades down and back. Keep a nice tight midline. From here, you're only going to lower as far as you can, where you can still keep your shoulders on the ground. So what you don't want is this, because now you're not stretching anything. You want to try to keep those shoulders engaged with the ground, and then try to press those hands down while you're still keeping the shoulders back. So again, we're working on that internal stretch and rotation here, which is important when you're trying to go into any shape that requires this here. So snatch, clean, all this, you need this here. So if you're already pecked and rolled in, then it makes that hard motion. So we need to make sure that we have that internal rotation. So that's one way to help stretch that. Another way to stretch that is find a corner in your house. You probably want to come over here. Hands are going to be even with your shoulders, and you're going to step through and then get that nice stretch through the chest. So holding that for a good 20 seconds, stepping out, and then doing that 3 or 4 times. And if you have one side that's a little tighter, you'll probably feel that. Another stretch you can do to include a little bit more of the bicep. Again, find a wall, place that thumb, and then you're going to rotate away, trying to keep that shoulder back. Again, we're not trying to dump that shoulder forward. We want to keep it down and back and rotate. And we'll hold again 20, 30 seconds. come out, and then come back into that stretch. So that's if you have no bands, you're just looking to release those pecs and use no equipment. If you do have bands, I have more exercises. So you can start with what's called a banded bully. You can slide that band up into your shoulder. Again, the hand goes behind the back. You'll step the same leg forward, and you want that band to pull that shoulder blade back. So we're not resisting it, we're letting it pull back, and you just give it the tension and then trying to release. You can also include your neck and get some good stretching with the neck as it pulls and releases all of this. If it's really kind of tight, a lot of resistance, then contract, contract, contract against it, and then relax. See if you can get a little bit more range of motion, a little more stretch. Okay, both sides. And then the last one you can do with an extended arm. So this is equivalent to when we stretch the bicep against the wall. So you are palm in, facing it. You're going to rotate that hand all the way around. So now the palm is faced up. Then you're going to turn, and I want you to pull that shoulder blade back. Let me do this side. So you're here, rotate it all the way around, step the same leg forward. Don't keep the shoulder here. Let that shoulder open up, and then get that stretch. And again, you can contract and pull, and then relax and stretch, and get that good pull through here. So those are 3 quick things. You can do strip, banded bully, extended arm into rotation. If you don't have the equipment, you can lay back and try to get your shoulders, keep your shoulders on the floor. You can do your corner stretch and then extended arm against the wall. One other thing I just want to show you real quick is if you want to try the band stuff but you don't have a rack or something sturdy, another idea is a lot of band kits will come with this door attachment, or you can create your own if you have like a thin sock and a golf ball or something weighted on the end. You can slide that through to the other side of the door, and when you shut it, it'll catch, and then it gives you that same range of motion to do those stretches. And then you can move it high, medium, maybe low, depending on how strong your weight is and how sturdy your door is. So those are some options you can try to open up that anterior pec. And any questions, let me know. Looking forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.